Hello, and welcome to the Yes Prep College Virtual Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Becca Russo, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on our website. The presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/yesprep. I'd like to turn it over to our first school. We have the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. So I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Feel free to take it away.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. So my name is Noel Rangel. I'm from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. I'm not your typical rep. Usually it would be Mr. Alejandro, but I am covering this event for him. So I'll drop his info below for your area, for your rep in a few, but we'll get started on UTRGV. Let me screen share. So students and staff, many of you may not know where UTRGV is. We are in the deep south of Texas. We are mainly located in Edinburgh, Texas and Brownsville, Texas. And let me get into some more details about our university. So UTRGV is 32,000 students vaqueros strong. We are a record-breaking school every academic year. So every freshman class, we do get more and more freshmen. We are the largest recipient of grant funds in the state of Texas. We are one of the top 3 best schools for your money for college. We are a super Hispanic serving institution since we are in the deep south. Our demographic is Hispanic. We have 75 undergraduate programs and about 120 academic program students. I will cover more of those majors and those pathways in my following slides. If you have questions, because I'm gonna go a little bit fast on them, you can also drop your questions at the end or in the chat. So those would be our 2 main campuses, y'all. We have Edinburgh, Texas, and then we have Brownsville, Texas. I would be located on the Brownsville, Texas campus. Mr. Alejandro, that is your typical rep or your usual rep, was based in Edinburgh, but he is now in Houston. So those are our 2 main campuses, but we don't also have just these 2. We do have 6 other locations that are satellite campuses, which are mini ones of UTRGV. So we have McAllen, Harlingen, Rio Grande City, Westaco, Port Isabel, Boca Chica Beach, and South Padre Island. And so, for example, like at Port Isabel, which is where the city before you get to the beach at SPI in the RGV, at Port Isabel, we have our floating campus, which would be a boat for marine biology students. So we have those opportunities for any science students or biology students that want to be out there. We also have new facilities in Harlingen opening up. For example, we had a collegiate high school for UTRGV students open up in Harlingen, I believe Monday. So we've had many opportunities to expand in the RGV. And then also we have at Stargate or at SpaceX, we have our facility Boca Chica Beach. They're connected with Elon Musk, with SpaceX, and they're out there for any engineering students. So there's many opportunities, guys, in the deep south of Texas with UTRGV all over in the RGV. For students, guys, we also have the transportation from city to city, from Brownsville to Edinburgh. We have Vaquero Express. As you can see there, we do have buses for students that will take you to and from campus. It does have AC, it has Wi-Fi. It's part of your tuition and fees, so you don't have to pay to get on the bus. You just show your student ID and you get on it. And you can either do homework or fall asleep or do Spotify, whatever you prefer. We also have the vault on campus, guys. So students, sometimes universities can be very, very big. And if you don't want to maybe walk from one building to the other, we do have a golf cart service that would take you from building to building. So that's really fun to have. And sometimes it's really hot in the deep south of Texas. And it's just really sunny. And sometimes we take the golf cart service anywhere on campus. So students, I do have here some of our majors and pathways at UTRGV. If you have questions about these pathways or where exactly you would fall into, make sure you ask me. I'll definitely get into it for you. Maybe take a picture since I'm going a little bit fast of our time span. So yes, let me continue to the next one. These are some of our other school students: School of Social Work, College of Liberal Arts, College of Science. If you want to take a picture of it, and I'll get into them if you have any questions about where you would go into. For Campus Tradition students, we do have 250 student orgs on campus and growing every academic year. If you want, you can start a club at UTRGV with 5 students and an advisor. So let's say we don't have an anime club, maybe we don't have a jogging club or a book club, you can start one. We do have Greek life as well, which are sororities and fraternities. They're primarily found in Edinburgh, but if you're willing to travel or commute, you can go over there and they'll be available there. Honor societies would be any type of high achieving clubs for students at UTRGV, and they'll typically send you a letter in the mail or an email, and they're very prestigious and really fun to be a part of. Interest groups, guys, at UTRGV, every semester we have a welcome week, and clubs will be out there recruiting students for powerlifting, fashion clubs, business clubs, any type of clubs. They'll be out there trying to get you to join them. Mentorship, a lot of department students at UTRGV do have seniors and juniors that monitor you and shadow you to kind of give you the guidance of being a student, campus life, and such. So if you ever want to, be a part of a department that has mentors, you'll have guidance, not just with staff, but also students. For Campus Tradition students, we also have the burning of the letters right there. Typically, those burning of the letters happen every semester, and students actually write those letters and light them up in front of a big pep rally that we have in our campus. It'll be in Edinburgh, but Brownsville students do get to shuttle over and get driven back at the end of the pep rally. So that's really fun. We are also a Division I athletic school. So we have men's soccer, women's soccer, we have men's and women's basketball. They're voting next month on a football team for the RGV, for UTRGV as well, and students get to vote on that as well. And then we do have as well a rec for you, so you don't have to get a membership. If you do come down over here, don't get a membership outside of the university. We do have a rec here on both campuses. For the application process students, we do have our Apply Texas. Now it is a goapplytexas.org for fall 2022. And then make sure you submit your essay, your transcript. The SAT is not required for UTRGV currently, so it is optional, but we recommend you submit it. As well, guys, test optional. Make sure you submit your essay. Dual credit students, that does count as well over here at UTRGV, so send that over when you do apply. For financial aid, make sure you submit your application, and we'll be able to help you with any of those questions whenever you do apply. For scholarship students, if you need more info, please let me know, and I'll send you the link. Important dates to remember. If you want to take a picture of it, go ahead. And then if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Schreiner University.
Excellent. All right, thank you. So let me go ahead and get my presentation pulled up here, and we'll get right into it. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So hello, my name is Jacob. I am here to represent Schreiner University. I really just want to hit the highlights for you guys since we are on time constraints. I want to make sure I cover the things that are important to know and also tell you a little bit about my story. Personally, I graduated from Schreiner 2019. I was a double major in psych and music. And honestly, I was the type of student who did not think I could go to a school like Schreiner because we are a small private university. And in my head, I thought that small private universities immediately meant crazy expensive. I could never afford that, So I want to tell you guys some things that made it kind of surprising for me when I was looking into Schreiner University and things that I really wish I knew more about when I was starting this whole college search. All right. So first and foremost, for background information, Schreiner University is located in Kerrville, Texas, just about an hour northwest of San Antonio, like 2 hours west of Austin. So, that's going to be our location right there in the Texas Hill Country. If you've never visited, it is a crazy, beautiful area. I would highly recommend it. But that being said, one of those first highlights that I want to hit about Schreiner is going to be on that affordability piece. Because again, private universities, we have that stigma. I know we do. But this one does some things that are really unique. One of those unique things is going to be that locked-in tuition, meaning that tuition cannot change for 4 years while you're at college. And I thought that was kind of surprising because I assumed that when I was in high school, I assumed that all colleges were that way, that, you just got your brochure that said what tuition was, you pay that for 4 years, you pass all your classes, boom, you get a degree, right? But that's not how it works at a lot of places. I didn't know that for most schools out there, tuition would typically increase every single year. But at Schreiner, I never had to worry about that. When I sat down with my parents, looked at the finances for freshman year, once we saw it was all good, found out it was smooth sailing to graduation day. That was the number one thing for us. Whereas I did have some of my friends who went to places that didn't have that locked in tuition. And unfortunately, it would become stressful, as they go through their freshman year, going into sophomore year. Suddenly all those numbers got a little bit bigger, and it was a thing where one of my good friends, actually, she got to the point where going into senior year, that tuition had increased to the point where it was no longer realistic in her budget, which was kind of a stressful thing. So luckily, no one at Schreiner has to deal with that. We saw it happening at some other institutions, and we said we never want to be one of those places. So tuition is locked in. Whatever it is freshman year, that's the same price on graduation day. All right, that's a big deal for us. However, we also have a locked-in tuition. I know I feel like an infomercial, like, but wait, there's more. You know, like there's also all these things that are included in that locked-in tuition, which is fantastic. So things that are usually a big, you know, kind of piece for stress when you're looking at some other, you know, college expenses, they're already taken care of at Schreiner. Your textbooks are included. Your parking pass is included. All the other like fees and additional charges, whether it's for like, you know, tutoring, you know, the campus rec, all these different things, they don't exist at Schreiner University. They're all taken care of, which is huge. Even down to things like your laundry. I didn't even think that was a big deal, but it was great because I got there and I didn't have to bring my quarters. It's already taken care of. You just hit the laundry machine and it goes exactly when you want it to. It's really, really cool. So for me, what this means is that, one, I never had to bring any extra bills home to my parents, which was great. I felt good that I didn't have to do that. But at the same time, when I was on campus, I just felt like I was taken care of. Like whatever I needed to do, whatever building I needed to walk into, I didn't have to stop and think like, can I afford to walk into this building? It was never a question. I would just stroll in and know that whatever I need, it's going to get taken care of. That was huge for me. Absolutely loved that, especially when it comes to those textbooks. I just walk into the library. They're like, hey, Jacob, looks like you're registered for all these classes this year. Great. Here's a box of all the books you need. I turned around, walked out. That was all it is. So I love that about Schreiner University. Tuition is locked in, and it's also inclusive. However, last but not least, I want to talk to you a little bit about our scholarship structure. So for me, when I was in high school, this was the number one thing that I needed to hear about, because this was really what was going to bridge the gap to decide whether I can go to a university or not. And for a lot of schools, I was actually getting kind of disappointed, mainly because when I was coming out of high school, I wasn't a bad student by any means, but I was just kind of the guy that was in, you know, gifted classes in like elementary and junior high. And then by the time I got to high school, I kind of realized that I could, you know, put in minimal effort and still kind of pass the class, you know, which I knew was a bad habit at the time, but it was my natural tendency. And so coming out of high school, I was the guy with pretty good grades, pretty good test scores, but nothing really extraordinary, unfortunately. And so when I would go talk to some of the universities, they'd plug me into their little scholarship chart. They're like, all right, Jacob, with your pretty good test scores and your pretty good grades, we can give you our pretty good scholarship. And I was like, pretty good's not going to cut it, you know? So that was a little bit of a stressful time. But when I talked to Schreiner University, things were a little bit different. They're like, okay, great. You know, if you're coming in with amazing grades and test scores, yes, we're going to reward that. That's definitely impressive. But we know that that's not the only type of student that's going to be successful in college. And so we take all these other things into account. And so they actually pulled out my application and started reading down all of my involvement, like that I was captain of the drum line, that I played soccer, that I had a job outside of school, even that I was, you know, volunteering, which was basically just my grandma taking me down to the church to help out. And all those things, though, they looked at it and they said, you know what, this is all going to look really good. It shows you're hard working, you're managing your time well, you're showing dedication. Even if you're not the best test taker in the world, or even if you struggled in a couple classes here or there, we can see that you're working hard and you're probably going to be successful here at Schreiner. Let's bump up your scholarship. And so just with those things alone, I was able to get the maximum merit scholarship, which was really, really unique. I never felt that way. So I was very, very happy to see that with all these unique things that Schreiner University does, it helped it become one of the more affordable options of all the schools that I was looking at, which was very surprising because I didn't think that private schools could do that. So for me, what I want to impart on you guys is, yes, there might be a lot of benefits that come along with a small private school, but you're worried about the cost of it. I understand that. And I'm gonna let you know that Schreiner University knows that, and we're taking that into account at all times. All right. And with that being said, I will kind of just go over this brief overview. 60 majors and programs to choose from. We have our NCAA Division III athletic programs. And the biggest thing that I always point out is that student to faculty ratio only 13-1. But with that being said, I'll go over these quick lists of athletics here. You can always check them out on our website. I'll drop that at the very end, schreiner.edu. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, of course, drop them into the Q&A. I'll be over that shortly. And when it comes to the application process, this is the one piece I really want to make sure I put up for you guys. Hop on our website. You can we have campus tours going on at all times. You can self-report your GPA. Test scores are totally optional. All right. So let me know if you have any questions later on.
All right, thank you so much. Up next, we have Azusa Pacific University. Take it away.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So happy to be here with you all today. Let me get my screen shared and get started. So we are Azusa Pacific University. If you're not familiar with us, we're located in Azusa, California, which is about 45 minutes away from Los Angeles. So if you're looking to get out of state, we're over there. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to Introduce myself. My name is Lauren Goldston, and I'm an admissions representative at Azusa Pacific University. If you do choose to apply to our school, I'll be your admissions representative, so we'll be in contact throughout the application process. I was an alum of APU. I graduated in 2018 with my degree in English, and I also just finished up my master's degree in college counseling and student development this past May. So let's get started talking about APU. So this is our timeline. I won't go over everything, but we were first founded in 1899 as the training school for Christian workers. And as we've been through a lot of name changes and location changes, but one thing that hasn't changed is our our motto, God First, since 1899. We are a private Christian university, but students do not have to be Christian or have any religious affiliation to attend our school. Faculty and staff do sign a statement of faith, so they'll be teaching their classes through a Christian worldview, but you are more than welcome to come from any faith background, non-faith background, and we enjoy just having those interesting, challenging, diverse conversations on our campus. This is our logo, and it represents our 4 cornerstones of Christ, scholarship, service, and community. Each of these play a really important role since, as I mentioned, we are a Christian university, so Christ is just at the forefront of everything that we do. Scholarship is very important to us as well. Scholarship and service kind of go hand in hand. We have service learning opportunities for students. One that I mention often is for our liberal studies students. So if you're interested in going into teaching, we partner with local elementary, middle, and high schools in the Azusa area and let students build curriculum. And whether you're interested in being a math teacher, science teacher, English teacher, you're able to kind of build that curriculum and go into schools and start teaching that. So that's a really cool thing for you to do. And community is also important for us. I'll get into this in a later slide, but we're a pretty small institution, 9,006 students total. So community is very important to us. We want to make sure that you feel very valued and seen and heard on our campus. And here's a little geographic slide for you. The only location you'll have to worry about is where that star is. That's where Azusa is located. Like I mentioned, 45 minutes away from Los Angeles, also pretty close to the mountains, the beach, and also pretty close to Disneyland as well, about like 45 minutes away. So that's a fun pastime that students like to do. These other locations are where our grad and professional campuses are held. And by the numbers, like I mentioned, 9,006 total students, 3,500 undergrad, 4,500 grad. Average class size is 19, student to faculty ratio 12:1, and we are a Division II school offering 6 sports for men, 11 sports for women. And this is a list of our majors. We have more than 60 different majors offered at our campus. Sorry, I'm moving pretty fast, but if you have any questions, I'll be looking at the Q&A as well. And our reputation, we are an R2 doctoral university, and that just means that you'll be able to do a lot of really great research as an undergrad student that you might not be able to get into until your master's or doctoral level studies. A lot of students get published along with their professors, so that's really fun. We're #1 in first year experience. We really pride ourselves in that, and also being top 25 universities according to alumni, because it shows that we want to make you feel welcomed on campus. And if alumni are having such a great time, that means that you will be having a great time as well. Our nursing program is also really great. We're #1 in the state of California and #5 in the nation for our nursing program. It is pretty competitive because it's capped at 100 students, but it really prepares you for going out into working into the nursing field. And we just found out that 97% of students, of our students who went off and took the NCLEX, which is the nursing exam, passed it on the first try. So our program really prepares you for getting ready to be a registered nurse. And this is what it looks like when you go to our website, apu.edu/apply. It is a super quick application, only takes 30 minutes. And our app requirements are a 2.5 GPA minimum, and that's your weighted GPA. You'll also need to do a personal statement essay, nothing too strenuous, just why you're interested in going to APU. We are test optional, so you do not need to submit your scores if you don't want to. And there is no application fee, which is really great. So you can hop onto that right now, fill it out in 30 minutes and get a decision pretty quickly from us. Sorry, the slide's a bit wonky, but it's 100%, and that is the number of students who receive some form of financial aid. And a lot of those scholarships are merit-based, so GPA, and they range from $11,000 to $22,000. So wherever you're at with your GPA, we try to match you with one of these scholarship brackets. Another great scholarship that we have is our trustee scholarship, which is a full tuition scholarship. And all the ones that I mentioned before are all 4 years, but this one is a full tuition scholarship, all 4 years, offered for first-time freshmen, 3.9 minimum GPA, and are super involved in inside and outside of school activities. And that application is due by November 15th. We also have some additional scholarships listed here for athletics, our multi-ethnic leadership scholarship for students who are very passionate about diversity, and then some for majors. Find us on the FAFSA. It opened on October 1st, sorry for the slide as well, but that's how you get to know about grants, loans, and other aid available. And these are our important dates to know: November 15th for early action, trustees, and nursing. Regular deadline is February 15th, and our deposit deadline is May 1st.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Up next, we have Nova Southeastern University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shanine Gilpin. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions here at Nova Southeastern University. I am actually filling in for the counselor who handles Texas. So afterwards, I'll share, of course, with you guys her email address for you to be able to follow up with her with any questions in regards to today's presentation and the admissions process. I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen and get started. Give me just a moment here. Okay, perfect. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Fantastic. Yes. Okay, fantastic. So a little bit about NSU. We are a private selective research university in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're heavily STEM, but we do have a lot of fantastic programs that you could choose from. One thing I like to highlight about our school is the fact that we're located in such a diverse, I like to refer to it as a diverse landscape. So we're surrounded by opportunities for our students who are going into the healthcare field. We're surrounded for opportunities for students who are looking to get into like marine biology, education, business, and so on. Right now, we have about 6,300 undergraduate students and about 18,000 grad students. You're probably wondering why we have more grad students than undergrad. We started out as a grad school, so we've always had more graduate students than undergrad. All of our graduate programs, including our medical schools, are also on campus. So a lot of students who are in our undergraduate program typically just transition over to like our MD school, DO school, pharmacy, dental, and so on. Okay. We have about 17 students per class. This is to give you an opportunity to connect with your professors, connect with your peers. We do find that students thrive better in an environment that is a little bit more intimate. We do have representation from all 50 states. So there are students from all 50 states and students from over 115 plus countries. These are the 9 colleges that we have on campus. So if you're looking to get into healthcare, marine bio, medicine, business, arts, humanities, there's literally something here for everyone. The fact that we have over 50 plus undergraduate degree programs, many students will choose a major and a minor. Now, one of the cool things about having that opportunity is that you have the autonomy to kind of like tailor your degree plan based on what you're looking for. So for instance, you could be a marine bio major and have an interest in dance. So we'll allow you to have a major and a minor. They do not necessarily have to come from the same college. In addition, we are very big on experiential learning. And so we've implemented in our curriculum what we call experiential education and learning, also known as EXCEL. And this is to ensure that every student has opportunities for research, study abroad, travel study, opportunities to work with a graduate or faculty member one-on-one, and that type of thing. So every student has to complete 6 units of work experience. However you choose to do so is up to you, but you'll have a career advisor who is assigned to you for all 4 years and who will work with you in helping you to kind of figure out what it is that you want to do in completing those 6 units. Now, in addition to applying to NSU, many students also apply for our premier programs. This is a separate application. So after you've submitted your general application to NSU, you can go ahead and apply for the premier programs. These are basically just opportunities for either scholarships or opportunities to have like your seat reserved in med school or have your seat reserved in law school or one of our graduate programs. So just real quick, I'll just touch on what these premier programs are. We have our honors college. We do have the Razor's Edge Scholars Program, which basically is a 4-year program where you're choosing one of these 5 tracks as a minor. So if you have an interest in like community engagement, severance work, global is a fantastic opportunity. If you are a pre-med student, marine bio student, research would be a fantastic opportunity. Leadership, as the name suggests, Shark Talent, if you're into the arts, this includes film, theater, music, visual arts, and then Shark Teach is for our education majors. And then we have the dual admission, where students have the opportunity to have their seat reserved in a graduate program when they enter as a freshman. This is great for those students who wish to go to medical school later on, law school, and so forth. It does have a minimum GPA requirement of a 3.5 to be eligible, and most programs do require you to have a test score of a 1270 or higher. This year, we are test optional, but if you're applying as a dual admission student, you will be required to submit test scores. The Fischler Academy is for education majors. It's an accelerated program where you can earn your bachelor's and your master's in 4 years. And then the Huizenga Business Innovation Academy is also accelerated, where you can also earn your bachelor's and master's in 4 years, okay? So again, you'll apply to NSU, complete the supplemental application, and you'll be required to attend an interview during one of our Shark Preview weekend. This is where we invite students to come and spend 2 nights on campus with us. We usually have about 200 students each weekend. This past year, it was virtual, but this year the plan is to actually move it back in person, okay? So the interviews begin in January and they run until April. And then of course, living on campus. And then of course, just to touch real quickly on like cost, you're looking at roughly $46,000 per year. But every student will get a Dean Scholarship from us, which is merit-based based on your GPA, ranging from 5 to 19,000 per year. And then some of the premier programs, of course, do have scholarships attached to them. Okay, and then of course, we do accept the FAFSA. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Up next, we have University of Redlands. Take it away. Viviana, you there? Okay, looks like we might be having some technical issues. So we'll skip ahead to Texas A&M University, San Antonio. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. I'll go ahead and get my presentation ready. My name is Damian. I'm actually filling in for Nathan, who will be your admissions counselor once you do decide you want to apply. I believe my screen is sharing now. I hope so.
Yes, you're good to go.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'll go ahead and get started. A&M San Antonio, we're located on the south side, maybe 20 minutes away from downtown San Antonio. We've been a standalone university, a part of the A&M system for about 11 years now. So we're excited about still being considered a new university, but US students, you have a great opportunity to help us establish our traditions moving forward. So, and I'll touch on that a little later on in the presentation, but currently we have about 6,700 students on campus, where the class size averages about 24. Student to faculty ratio being 20:1. 71% of our student body identify as being Hispanic or Latinx. So we are considered a Hispanic serving institution, and that opens the door up for a lot of funding that will be provided as a public university in Texas to provide scholarships to you. 70% of our student body identifies as being first generation. So you have a lot of support on campus if you will be the first in your family to go to college. We offer over 50 programs in our 3 colleges, first covering our College of Arts and Science. Some of the popular majors you would see would be biology, communications, criminology, criminal justice, political science, as well as psychology. In our College of Business, of course, we would have accounting, finance, marketing, and management. But our popular programs in this department are actually computer-based. So computer information systems, computer science, as well as cyber engineering and cybersecurity. San Antonio has become known as like a cybersecurity headquarters. So if you are interested in pursuing that field, you have that great opportunity to take advantage of being in a booming city like San Antonio and take advantage of the partnerships with the companies we're able to establish with. And then in our College of Education and Human Development, if you were looking to get into education at any level, from early childhood up until high school, you would be able to get your teaching certification along with your bachelor's degree. So you don't have to do a separate program after you graduate. This is also where we house our kinesiology program. So if you're someone looking to become an athletic trainer, physical therapist, we have different levels in which you can just do it with the exercise science emphasis or with the pre-physical therapy emphasis. And you can also get your teaching certification. So depending on what you want to do as a profession, we do have these 5 pre-professional tracks that you would match with one of the majors from the 3 colleges that we offer. And it's not just, we want to make sure you're getting that experience before you graduate. And so a lot of these opportunities are made available with our May Center for Experiential Learning and Community Engagement. And you can look at this as like your career center or go center that you may have on your campus. It's a resource hub where you can come learn about the workforce or learn more about the job that you may be going into, see what your major can actually go into as far as other careers. And then if you're just trying to get prepared for an interview or internship, you have our success coach, our career advisors that will be able to guide you through that process. And this is a service that students can continue to use even after they graduate from our university. But yeah, just a great resource for you to prepare for life as a professional. And we want to make sure you're socially involved. So we do offer over 100 different student organizations and clubs on campus. They range from academic-based, professional development, as well as community service. We now have athletics on campus. So we currently have men and women's soccer, women's softball, and men's golf teams competing in the NAIA division. And then we would be competing in the Red River Athletics Conference. If you didn't want to compete at that level, we do have recreational sports or what we call intramural sports. And so you can continue to play basketball, volleyball, sand volleyball, flag football, in which you can compete against friends and other people on campus. We also have an esports team. So if you're big on video games on console or PC, you can check out our student organization. And they also are recognized as an athletic team. So they're able to provide scholarships to students who participate. We have a growing Greek community. So if you're interested in joining a fraternity or sorority, you can do so as well. And the last thing I want to mention, we are a military embracing university. So if you and your family are military connected at any level with any branch, we want to be able to connect you with our military affairs department, and they would help you and assist you with any transitioning, whether you need assistance or better understanding with how you're going to pay or use your benefits to pay for college. We also offer Army ROTC. So if you're interested in joining the Army as a branch or potentially going into the service, we do offer Army ROTC for you. Our dorm is one of the best places for you to build your community and get started. They're very modern, as you can see with the picture there. You can really get to meet new people. There's different study rooms and lounges in which you can participate and just kind of get outside of your room or outside of the classroom. So you're not just, going crazy studying all the time. But it's a great opportunity for you to meet other people as well as relax and take advantage of being on campus, because you'll be in walking distance to all the student services that we offer as well as to your classes.
All right, and I have to cut you off there, Damien. I'm sorry. We are at 6 minutes. So we have our final presenter now. We've got University of Redlands. So go ahead and take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Viviana Romero. I'm an admission counselor here at the University of Redlands. Let me see, hopefully you can see that. So the University of Redlands is located here in Southern California. We have about 2,400 current undergraduate students. We are residential, so we do have our students with us all 4 years, and we can guarantee your housing all 4 years. So typically, you can spend your first 2 years in a residence hall, double, triple room. Then you can move on to our apartments, or we have suite style living as well. So you can pick and choose your housing based on that. We really strive to be an inclusive and socially conscious community, listening to our student needs, providing additional resources that would be helpful. We have 40 different programs of study. As the liberal arts, we cover the natural sciences, the humanities, business, other pre-professional programs as well. And we have moved to being test optional permanently. So you no longer have to submit your test scores unless you want us to see that test score, but we won't use the test score as part of our scholarship criteria either. So it's really, up to you if you want to submit your test scores or not. This is a little map on our locations. So we are a little bit more inland, so closer to the San Bernardino Mountains, really close to Big Bear and Joshua Tree. So if you are an outdoorsy person, this can be a great place. We can definitely do a lot near you. But if not, LA is only about an hour and 10, an hour and 20, depending on traffic. The beaches are about an hour away. So really give students kind of that perfect, distance and in between for you to explore different things in Southern California. These are all of our majors. So like I mentioned, we have a little bit over 40. We have 2 master's pathways as well. So for our business 401, students that may be interested in studying business, they can do their business of administration degree, and then they'll enroll in a 1-year MBA program. And then we have our education 401 for students that may want to become teachers or do some kind of higher ed work after college. They can do their teaching credentials and their bachelor's in the subject that they plan to teach in the 4 years, and then they'll do a 1-year master's in education program. But besides that, any student can double major. It's very common for our students to double major. We have no impacted majors because of our size. A lot of our students are able to get all the classes that they need and be able to graduate within the 4 years. Within our majors, our popular ones are business administration, education, psychology, health, medicine, and society for students that may want to pursue any health professions afterwards, and music. Then our campus diversity and inclusion office, these are the various centers that we have on campus. So it really provides additional programming and support for students within these identities. They do annual programming where they bring in other keynote speakers as well when they may be doing a lecture series. So for example, in the past, we've had Laverne Cox come in, we've had Landon Donovan, Brian Stevenson. So really giving students just that opportunity to learn something more about specific topics as well. But outside our academics and living on campus, some other activities that students can engage in, studying abroad is definitely one of those. So if you are planning to study abroad, we have our own Salzburg program in Austria. So we invite about like 30 students every semester to study abroad there. But if not, you can definitely study abroad in a different location. It could be based on your major, or if you really want to travel somewhere. We have other students that may do internships as well, community service, research. So really you can plan out your 4 years and have different experiences every year or summers. Within our first year admissions process, we are on the Common App. So as long as you fill out your Common App and you include the University of Redlands, we'll receive your application. We do have an application fee, but we also provide fee waivers. So I'll share my contact information at the end. If you do have any questions, you can email me directly. We'll be looking at your extracurricular activities, your essay. We do ask 2 additional supplemental questions in the Common App. It's about 250 words, so you don't have to write too much, but just we want to get to know a little bit more about you and your interests specifically. Within your transcript, that's when we're going to be looking at your GPA. So maybe you took honors, APs, if you're in a dual enrollment program, we're going to see your academic trends. So your GPA is important to us because that's what we use primarily to evaluate the merit scholarship. And I'll talk about that in the next line. Within the letters of recommendation, we do have one minimum of one that you need to submit, but you can always submit more than one. Like I mentioned, we're test optional forever. We do have two deadlines, our early action, early decision in November 15th, and then our regular decision in January 15th. So within our scholarships, merit is the largest that all students can qualify for. You don't have to submit a separate application. With your completed application to the University of Wetlands, that will get you the scholarships. So the maximum that you can receive is about $32,000 and the minimum is 21. It is a renewable scholarship as long as a student maintains a B point average in their classes. We do have two additional awards that students can apply for, a talent award for students in art, creative writing, and theater. You don't necessarily have to major in these areas, but if you do have that talent piece, you'll submit a portfolio, and then there's a committee that if you are selected, the scholarship that you receive is about $3,500. Then for music, if you are currently playing an instrument or you sing, you can audition for this scholarship. And then if you are selected, it can be up to $10,000. And then our Hunsaker and Samuel scholarships are based on leadership. So we'll be looking at your extracurricular activities, your letters of rec, see what your teachers and counselors have to say about you. So about 90% of the students that apply to the University of Redlands receive some type of aid, whether it be our institutional aid, and if you apply for the FAFSA, we'll see if you qualify for any federal, state aid. We're planning to do work study, any loans that may be offered to you. So your financial aid package will consider both. Last year, the average financial aid packet that a student and family received was about $46,400.
All right, I have to cut you off here.
Okay.
You're at your 6 minutes.
All
So we are going to quickly go through one Q&A piece. So just a reminder, we actually only have 3 minutes until we conclude the presentation. So we'll keep them nice and short, but we'll go through the presenters and let's share one thing you would like students to remember about your university. So we will start with University of Texas, Rio Grande. Okay, looks like we might be having some technical difficulties there. So we will head over to the next school, Schreiner University.
Hello, I'm so sorry. Am I presenting again?
Yes, we're doing a Q&A.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. One thing you want students to remember about your school.
One thing is that we are in the deep south of Texas. We do have many locations at UTRGV. And being in the deep south Texas, hopefully you guys enjoy Hispanic food. We do have taquerias in every corner of the RGV. So yes, we have 8 locations in total. And that would be something I want students to remember about how beautiful our culture is down here.
Great. Schreiner University.
Well, I mean, to piggyback off that and just talking about the environment, it is beautiful in Kerrville, Texas. Guadalupe River runs right through campus, and there's a trail that connects from campus down to the river trail. It's killer. There's a bunch of deer all over the place. It's a beautiful area, just to say.
Wonderful. Azusa Pacific University.
Yeah, one thing to remember about APU is that 100% of students receive some form of financial aid, and a lot of them are those academic ones ranging from $11,000 to $22,000.
Perfect. Nova Southeastern University.
Hi guys, one thing to remember about NSU is our premier programs. Our premier programs are unique to us, and these are opportunities for scholarships and opportunities to have your seat reserved in a graduate program when you enter as a freshman. In addition, we're in sunny South Florida, so it's always 80 degrees. We're close to the beach. And yeah, that's it really.
Great. University of Redlands.
Yes, for us, I'd say that if you're looking to be in Southern California, where you're not too in the city, in the center of downtown, Redlands is that good fit. Like I mentioned, within our location, we're only about an hour and 10, an hour and 20. So it's really convenient for students to travel within Southern California.
Awesome. And finally, Texas A&M University, San Antonio.
Yes, we are the most affordable tuition, and we have the most affordable tuition here in San Antonio. If you're in a top quarter, top 25%, you're automatically admitted. And if you have a GPA above a 3.25, you're automatically admitted as well.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions. You will be able to find the sessions recording as well as all other session recordings at strivescan.com/yesprep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our presenters and have a wonderful rest of your day.